You are watching Influence Media, PSI TV, the Netflix of biz brands.
Pain, addiction, anxiety, sleeplessness. These are some of the things many people struggle with. And my guest today has a solution. Dr. Elfaki holds a PhD in communication. He was a former associate professor with Omdurman University, and he just thrives on that, using visual and audio study to engage students. He has several published papers, including, but not limited to, the effectiveness of self-communication to develop personal capabilities, published in the Academy of Sciences Communication magazine. He also wrote The Role of Personal Communication in Achieving the Materials Happiness, and an analytical study on a sample of the Holy Quran and prophetic speech, and that was published in the Holy Quran University magazine. And The Communication of Faith in the Holy Quran, African International University. Dr. Elfaki is also the author of The Neurolinguistic Programming in the Holy Quran, a practical program to achieve happiness in this world and in the hereafter. And it is this book that brings him to our show today. Dr. Elfaki, thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you for having me. I am very happy to having me today.
I appreciate you being with us. So tell us a little bit, this neurolinguistic programming, commonly known as NLP, is actually quite the rage in the space that I play in the coaching community. But NLP may be unfamiliar to the PSI TV audience. So share with us, what is NLP?
Good questions. The term NLP, neuro, is a part of the term of nerve. In the other word, the way we deal with the information through the five senses. So we deal the information through the five senses, and then through mind and through the nervous system. This is the first term. The second term is linguistic. The word linguistic is associated with the use of language system, not just a word. It's a coding system like organize or gather or order, whatever. And then the third word, it is programming. So the programming, it is defined as to program something like just a computer. We want to program the old program. You have it, you take it from your environment, you take it from your family, you take it from your friend, you take it from your school. You take it by your five senses. It's coming to inside your mind, and then go to the nervous system. And then you already program this information as the old information.
Okay. So I'm going to put it in the way I understand it, like a child. So a lot of times we will say, oh, I'm scared to be in front of an audience. I'm scared. Versus if I said, it feels like butterflies are in my stomach. I'm excited to go and see the audience. It's the same feeling, but I've reframed it. So it's a connection between my language and my thinking. And by flipping and changing the language of my thinking, sometimes that is how I understand NLP. Is that a correct way?
Right. But let's go inside to let people know what it is, anxious and conscious, because this program, it depends on the unconscious completely. It's not like, but it's gonna go deep in your mind when you repeat it, when you do it usually, when you do habit, you do as a habit, then you go in your system. Like just like a car. When you drive the car, at the first time you have trained on the car. Then after a couple of days, then automatically you drive. You don't need, even some people just drive and talk, and this is the system that. And when you are sleeping, you are off, and all the system is not out. No, if the system is out, we are going to die. But here is the secret. The secret is, this is the power to control you. It's the power to let your system run, your heart, your blood, your everything. When you are sleeping, is running, and just wake up. It's conscious is the reasonable level, and the unconscious of unreasonable level. You think with your conscious mind, and everything you think about frequency, and usually it will go deep in your subconscious mind, because this one, it is go by slow. So this program, you cannot do program for yourself. You have to communicate with mind, because subconscious mind, it is control everything. So you have to communicate with your, not the normal mind, because the normal mind is not going to control anything. And you see that very clear when someone try to lose his weight, or quit alcohol abuse, or drug abuse. He trying more over and over, but they fail. Because why? Because they don't have a control. They don't communicate with their unconscious mind. That's why.
So we're just to bring it back for the audience, what Dr. Elfaki is reminding us is that we have the subconscious mind, which we control, the unconscious mind, which he will help us to learn how to control. But for most people, we struggle with things like he said, losing weight, getting rid of addictions, because the subconscious mind is more in control of that. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so how does someone let go of what they're not aware of? Because I think some people are not really aware of their subconscious mind. They may know they have one, but you're not even aware of it. How does somebody let go of something? It's like if somebody said to me, why are you angry? And I go, I'm not angry. I'm not even aware that I'm angry, or that I'm coming across as anger. So I can't let go of the anger if I don't believe or think that I'm angry. Do you see what I'm saying? If you say you're addicted to alcohol, I'm not addicted. A lot of addiction people have denial. So they are not aware. They don't believe they have an addiction. They really think they can just quit tomorrow, until of course they try, and then they realize that they can't. Right. But Dr. Elfaki, your book, Neurolinguistic Programming in the Holy Quran, seems to address some significant human challenges: addiction, depression, sleeplessness. If somebody has these challenges, or if a family member of someone like that is watching this show today, and they get your book, would you say that if they read your book, there is some amount of DIY, do-it-yourself help strategies in your book?
Yes, of course.
So in earlier history, religious teaching was really the guide that humans had to life. But leaders today are actually going back to their religious roots to find wisdom and solutions. Like you have, you're not just counting on, the wisdom of science and school and academia. You're going back to your religious roots. You're finding wisdom. You're finding solution. Now, NLP is actually a scientific discipline. It's been around since the 1970s. You say, and you mentioned that the Quran says you can't change you until you change your state. How would you compare the NLP of modern science with the Quranic verse there where you say that the NLP comes out of this? I don't know if I'm being clear. Give me an example.
Okay, so the Quran is said, as they mentioned in Arabic, إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. That means you cannot change yourself. You cannot change yourself. Allah will not change the good condition of the people as they do not change their state of goodness themselves by committing sins and by being disappoint Allah. And this is very clear, because if you want to succeed, you have to change yourself. You cannot use alcoholism or a drug and you be on to be succeed. This one, it is, if you want to change to be happy, then you have to stop. You have to quit this. So you cannot, and this is the clear in the Quran. And the other verse talking about that one, it is amazing experience for quitting alcohol. That is the mention in the Holy Quran about this experience. So it's talking about alcohol. It has 3 steps. It's not like I read some here in America at the beginner, they try to prohibit alcohol, but they fail. Because you know what? Because they don't do the step by step. You do sometime at one time, you're gonna fail. So you have to do step by step, then you are be succeed. And the other things that you are be succeed here, if you have to communicate the pain, you have 2 technique here. The Quran approved. The other NLP, they have a lot of technique, but I'm focused about only 2 technique. What is the positive thinking, and the other is pain and pleasure. How you communicate pain with the model that you want to change, and then how to communicate vice versa with the positive thinking, with the pleasure, with the something you want to be or you want to change. So this is very clear in the Quran, and this is the picture here. This is about the miracle of the Quran has state and associate pain with the model you want to change is the bad behavior, and then communicate, associate a goodness with the pleasure. You communicate your then you go through your unconscious mind, then you're gonna change. It's not difficult, and it's not easy to change your behavior you doing like couple years, but you can change it because unconscious it's here. It is the gift of Allah, our God, our Lord, give you this. That were all these programs, they failed because if someone you are want to lose your weight, and then you see a chocolate, but when you communicate, when you associate this habit with the pain, like when you do this one, or you do like smoking, or you are the addiction of alcohol, you will be die. And then you communicate this model to your anxious, to the pain, and then you communicate the happiness, and you imagine yourself in the backyard, and then enjoy yourself by quitting this program or quitting these things you did it before, and then you can associate the pleasure with that one. This is going to go inside your unconscious, and it's gonna be a habit. Then you go anxious, that is gonna be like autopilot. When the pilot drives the plane, then in the high level, they're gonna work autopilot. This like that's the same. So autopilot, it's anxious. It's autopilot. It's you already set up your new program. You don't need nothing.
Okay. So that was a whole lot of information right there, guys. I hope you're following along. Let me just pick out a few of the things that Dr. Elfaki said that I want to remind you. He said, so the NLP has several strategies, but he was focusing in only on the ones that were matching with what the Holy Quran says. So he was focusing in on only the two, which was the positive thinking and what was the other one?
Pain and two
Pain and
techniques.
pleasure.
Pain and
Positive
pleasure.
thinking
Yes.
and
Pain and pleasure technique.
Pain and pleasure technique. And he was reminding us that the subconscious mind is at autopilot. And so, you know, it is, if you're not aware that you're gonna, you know, keep repeating the mistake, but that's why you need to take this in steps to make the changes. And you can do it. You can make the change, and it's really only up to us. Even if, as he says, yes, he can help a little bit and give you some guidance and things, but at the end of the day, the change comes from us, from inside. Did I get that right? Was that good?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you are right. You are right. Yes.
So, Dr. Elfaki, another thing that I have noticed is that women are good about asking for help, but not so much the men. Men have a really hard problem asking for help. Now, let's say they get your book, they read your book, they get the help from the book, but they need some more resources to help them. What would you suggest?
I suggest my email. If you have any question about anything in my book or my program, just go ahead and email me that questions. And I'm have a good news for everybody here, especially in Colorado and in another state. It's gonna be soon. For I very, very depend on Allah, on my God. It's gonna be succeed. I apply this program for myself. I get improved, I get happy in everything. So I need everybody to be happy, because this is a program is very, very, very important for everyone, not for the addiction, everything, because you want to improve, you want to be every excellence in your life, so do it.
So you're not just someone who's teaching this, you have applied this to your life, is what you're saying.
Yes, I did. I apply. This book I already published like more than 10 years. I apply for myself to improve. I change the program every day. I update it until that publishing coming 2000.
Dr. Elfaki, it's been my pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, I really invite you to go and check out the book, Neurolinguistic Programming in the Holy Quran, a practical program to achieve happiness in this world and the hereafter. The book is available in your favorite bookstore. And if you have questions, you can follow up with Dr. Elfaki. I'll put his email in the credits. Thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.